was born and raised in Iraq, in a city called Samarra, which is Salahuddin province. I was born to a Catholic father and Muslim mother. Don't ask me how that worked, but they loved each other. They were high school sweethearts. Life is very difficult in there because we were, not only that he's Catholic and my mom was Muslim, but he was also white, blue eyes, and blonde hair. So we were kind of despised. People didn't like us because we were born into a mixed family. And so neighbors didn't like us. A lot of people didn't like us just because we were different. The dominant religion there is Muslim, and there was only 3 Catholic family. And I was like in that town. My mom's still Muslim. She's trying to pass on the Muslim thing into us, and which I follow that a little bit. Not that it went deep into my life. I kept pushing back against it and didn't want to be part of it. And then mainly also because I saw so many people praying that 5-time prayer and none of their prayers getting answered. And so to me, it was like, why worship a God that doesn't answer you? Moved on from there and had to be enlisted into the service. When you're 17, you have to get all your paperwork done to join the police or the Iraqi army. Instead of going into the army, I chose to go into the police. Finished my basic training, looked at my papers. Supposedly, like I signed up for 5 years, and I looked at it. I signed up for 5 years, but my paper says 25 years. So they changed it on me. So I was devastated, and I didn't want to serve the 25 years for Saddam's regime. Not long into the service, the war started between the U.S. and Iraq, and I was given an AK-47 and was told to guard the police station in the back of the building. And if I see you a soldier, to shoot. And I said, nope, I will not do that. The officer that gave me the weapon said, if you don't do it, you'll be shot and you'll be considered a traitor. There was a lot of bombing happening in that night. So I went and escaped away from the police station because there are a lot of government buildings were getting targeted. So I escaped and then went back early morning, and that officer standing in my spot and screaming, traitor, traitor, you will be hanged today in the name of Saddam, in the name of Allah, and all that stuff. I decided to run away, and my only way out is taking a ride in a freezer truck that's filled with frozen chicken. And so it's kind of, I don't know, felt like I was a coward running away, but at the same time, it was like my family, we grew up respecting the West and the U.S. and we felt like a lot of people here in this country that actually they care about other people and want to rescue people from regimes and set them free. After a month or so, the same person, actually, it was my sergeant. His name is Jabbar. And so Jabbar called me and said, hey, you want to go back into police? It's like, no. I was like, I don't want to serve the 25 years. And it's like, no, you don't have to. It's like, all that's gone. You don't have to live by Saddam's regime's laws. The U.S. came in and you don't have to do any of that anymore. You can quit anytime you want. I was like, okay. So I went back. And then African-American captain from the military police from the U.S. side came in, and he had asked a bunch of those officers if they can help them to get to know the area more better, and like routes and safety and what to watch out for and whatnot. And they all ponied. I was like, take him. And I was like, well, I don't know anything. I didn't even speak English. I went with them, took me to the academy where they were training Iraqi police officers and to become SWAT members. I asked my captain if I can switch into being with the U.S. forces 100%. And I went and did that and started working with the U.S. forces. I met this person, we call him Surgeon Gray. We keep his identity secure. He joined the Army for the very purpose of sharing the gospel. When I met Sergeant Gray, didn't know he was a Christian, so he had a Bible in his cargo pocket. Every break we took, he was reading it. Before I met him, I found a Bible, but the way I was reading it, across the page, and didn't make sense. I walked on purpose right next to him as he was taking a break. I was like, "Hey, what's that?" And he's like, "That's a Bible." And I was like, "How do you read it?" I went to Bible study with him. There's 2 other soldiers that he was helping with Bible study, and like everything that Sergeant Gray trying to set the example for me, I was like, man, like you either are crazy or this is like God is really doing something in my life that is just, it's a wreck. Like my life was a wreck. I went to Sergeant Gray and I asked him, I was like, I hated my life. I don't want to be me anymore. How can I become a Christian? And he was like, man, you need to go out and tell that to Jesus. It's like, how? I was like, go just tell him, like, talk to him like you're talking to me, and he will come and change your life. And I went and prayed on top of the roof and asked Jesus to come in my heart and change my heart, because I didn't want to be that person anymore. I slept a couple hours and then got up in the morning. I was a completely different person. And instead of being like, wanted to hurt people and disrespect people, I had a smile on my face. And my whole company, like that I worked with, like the whole guys, like looking at me is like, what happened to you? And I was like, Tex, wipe that smile off your face, like we're serious here. And I was like, I know, I can't help it. I'm not perfect, but God really did a miracle in my life. Jesus is my shepherd. He's my guide. Surrendering my life to Jesus and seeing how he quickly healed my life from all the PTSD, from everything that I went through. It was amazing. So the ministry we have now is to reach out to veterans who struggle with PTSD, adjusting to the civilian life. We try to come alongside them and help them with resources and just be there, and just, if God can reach out and save my life and change my life, he could do the same in their life.